Okay, good morning. Andrea Zufelt is for class 515, module 9, and you'll have to excuse the fact that I'm trying this on my phone, and I've never done this before. In researching Glennon Doyle's life with bulimia and addiction, I found it interesting that she really, how she described it, basically started kind of with her bulimia first, based on societal pressures. She started feeling awkward. She started seeing how everyone else, especially the other girls at school, seemed to be so much more put together. And so, along with the societal pressures and how she kind of felt in dealing with those pressures by eating and then purging, binging and then purging, could fall in line with a social learning theory. Only she kind of learned the coping, if you will, by the binging and purging on her own, but based on the learning that she was having on the society with which she was living in. She felt misunderstood and couldn't understand how other girls her age were able to function and maneuver through life in a way that she was not able to handle. And so in her mind, it was more of a seeing them in the way that she could physically, and then having that attempt, and also then the binging and purging, fixing the issues that she was having with the thoughts and the feelings. She would binge when she was feeling poorly about herself, purge because she felt badly about binging, and then in the end feel better. And it worked enough as a reward, if you will, for her to continue to do so, which essentially would then bring in, her own kind of classical conditioning with continuing that learning style along with things. So she wasn't necessarily knowledgeable about how she was doing all of that, but she did it on her own. It made her feel better, so then she continued. So she was able to then put one with the other and then continue to binge and purge. In the discussions in the TED Talk, when she talked about how she, when she went to the mental institution, a lot of what she described as learning in that facility falls in line with a cognitive theoretical process, and that it was helping people deal with those emotions and understand that those emotions aren't necessarily bad. You can't look at them as bad. You just need to place them where they need to be placed. And then she also talked about the cognitive behavioral processes that were used in that treatment. While it seemed to help as she was able to recognize those things with the other individuals that were in the institution, it obviously did not help her in the long run, because she then graduated high school, moved on to college, and added the addictions of alcohol, drugs, and sex into the addiction of bulimia that she had. So while all of that wasn't necessarily helpful out in the real world, it obviously, helped her kind of realize some things about some individuals while she was in that facility. Many times, the continuation of the social learning will really fall into play with people in college, especially if they are individuals that tend to stay on campus or become more involved in college life. So